Okay. So we're a little bit late, but it's all good. This is In Other News with me. I'm your host, Mike Russell. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you're one of the new kids that didn't see what happened last week and a half or so, Mr. Rob is no longer with the program. He is off to his own endeavors and adventures. So we love the kid, and we hope that he becomes the guru of communication worldwide. We will do anything in our power to help him along in that endeavor. So this is what we do here. Same thing, only different, as my mom would say. So we try to stay away from just the Kamala said this, Trump said that, Biden said this, Trump said that. But we are in the midst of probably one of the most historic things we've seen in a hot minute. Now, this administration has said over and over and over and over again, everything's historic. As Karine Jean-Pierre, KJP of the Cool Kids, says that she walks in history every day as the first LGBTQ plus IA something woman of color to be the White House press secretary. So so that's how it goes. What's up, Truman? How you doing, Lynn? And so we are dealing with history here, where a elected representative of the DNC through the primary process was supplanted by somebody that did not receive one vote. So it's interesting. We are going to talk about it. We ain't gonna play. Interesting night. Historically underwhelming. Yes, Brendan, I do agree with that. And by the way, I was a little late jumping on. I was emailing Jason from Canning Coolers, and his email auto signature is "Stay cool," Jason. Dude, how cool is that? I don't have anything that cool for me to be like, stay cool. Get it with the cooler guy? That's awesome. Yes. Anyway, so he is. He's really helping us out with donating a cooler for the banquet that we have this weekend for the Arizona Outdoor Hall of Fame induction, and just good peeps. So if you're in the market for a cooler, even a cooler backpack, it's called the Coolie. Yeah, use the code GOSHOW. Get 15% off your order. So that's pretty rad. Anyway, let's talk about the DNC. The DNC last night, again, just as Brennan said, underwhelming, but interesting to me on a couple of fronts. And one of the things that was interesting to me, especially when Michelle Obama was speaking, whatever, Michelle Obama, the chant broke out, do something, do something, do something. I think Republicans as well were jumping in with that going, yeah, dude, it's a hell of an idea. Yes, do something. Somebody, please. I'm paying too much for groceries. Holy mackerel. I am hosting a little get-together for intern Bean's birthday tonight, and everything is more expensive. Everything is just wildly expensive. Wildly expensive. That was because, I'm dad, so, gift cards and cash is what you get. And I was like, I might grab some of that cash when I go to the store. It's wild. So yes, do something. That they are so tone deaf and believe that we the people are so stupid that we are going to fall for this. Yes, Kamala's going to do something. She had one party control. Her and Biden had one party control for 2 years. Dos años for the cool kids. 2 years. And did squat but spend a boatload of money, shut down the economy, crush small businesses, rampant inflation, and high gas prices, doubled the price of gas. They did something, and now she's going to fix it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what Grizz said. Shouldn't she be running all the great things that she did for the past 4 years instead of this is what am I going to do to change everything? Secure the border, she said. I'm like, you are the border czar. It's funny to me, the media apparatus that lied to us for so long about Joe Biden, lied to us and tried to hide the fact that they had to submit questions for KJP before they get into the press room, and they have to submit questions for Joe Biden so he has them on his little placard. They lied to us about everything. Then they jumped on the bandwagon here and said, yeah, we got to get this guy out. We got to get him out. We can't have this Trump guy win. Get him gone. And they participated in that, and they were clutching their pearls like, oh, we didn't know about any of this. Well, yeah, you did. But now it's this Kamala hype. I think Chuck Schumer Chuck Schumer said, the more you get to see Kamala, the more you're going to like her. She's been, what's up, Rhonda? She has been the vice president for over 3.5 years. We got to see her in the Kavanaugh hearings, and we're like, ugh, I didn't like that. 3.5 years of being the vice president. 90% turnover on my staff. 90. No one likes her. But now it's just this media darling. Look at this. I'm up on stage and I've got my microphone extemporaneous style. I'm not reading what it says on the teleprompter. It's just absolutely maddening. It really is. It's been an interesting time. Tim Walz was introduced last night. Tim Walz is the running mate of Kamala Harris and an absolute lunatic. This man cannot stop lying. He lied about his service. He lied about his rank. He lied about in vitro fertilization with his wife. He's a just flat out liar, but that's not the worst thing to me because he's a DC politician. They're all a bunch of liars. So the thing that blew me away is his entrance last night. Now I'm going to explain this by backing it up a little bit and saying Bernie Mac probably had the best, most underrated sitcom in modern TV history. That's my Bernie Mac impression. Bernie Mac was so different. The Bernie Mac program was different. And here's why it was different. It was different because from a dad standpoint, I would watch the Bernie Mac show and I would just love it because here was a strong, successful, entertaining, authoritarian father that wasn't just the dumb, bumbling Ray Romanos and King of Queens and every dad's a dumb bozo. Al Bundy. This was different. And I trust me, there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. Bernie Mac was fantastic. So Bernie Mac was a representation, I think, of what we dads see ourselves as, and we don't see ourselves as bumbling sitcom dads. Well, here's the deal. The running mate of Kamala Harris, the vice president Kamala Harris, is that bumbling, stupid dad. Look at this. This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Whoa. Look at this guy. He's that guy. Who does what? Oh, pray. Who acts? Oh, prayer hands. Get away. Look at this guy. He is that. He is the stumbling, bumbling dad. Governor. And of course he does, we'll get it here. He does the prayer hands. It's the dumbest thing. This guy's an absolute bozo. But the minute he came out like that, I thought that's why I need to bring up Bernie Mac, because Bernie Mac was that Tim Walz is every bumbling idiot of that you possibly imagine. Mm-hmm. What's up, James? Good to see you out in Maine. Here's the deal. There's a reason why Donald Trump is going to win this thing. And mostly because we, the people, look at all the nonsense that we're hearing from this convention and going, y'all are just a bunch of liars. Because I made a lot more money under Donald Trump. And Donald Trump didn't close down my business. Donald Trump is not the reason why every third house on my block is a rental owned by BlackRock. He's not. Biden is. But then it's this. Check this out. We have seen streamers, we have seen influencers either denounce Kamala Harris and saying, I'm not going to take the money, or I'm with Trump because he's a winner. And he's doing the little things now. Remember, it was all just big stadiums he's filling out, and that's all he did with these big rallies is what I was looking for there. Mm-hmm. It says on the entrance for Tim Walz. Yes, exactly. I was born in a small town. Oh, you're fooling us, Tim. Whoa, small town conservative guy, right? Please, you're a socialist whack job that put tampons in boys' bathrooms. Hey, lies. Was it like? Yeah. Now that song's going to be in my head. Thank goodness. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump's doing the small things. He's doing things different. And he's doing things. I don't know where this actor, by the way, has become like he's almost like Joe Rogan size as far as podcast is concerned, because he just interviewed on Top Interview. Look at this. This is the former president of the United States, literally just chilling with this guy.
Problem in our country, would you say?
Opioids.
Bigger than alcohol.
Oh, for sure. I think that's one of the biggest problems.
And compare that to fentanyl.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the problem is people are making fake opioids because they can't afford real ones, or they're just getting them off the street, and then they put fentanyl in them.
Yeah. Fentanyl's like laced into everying now. It's horrible.
It's horrible. Yeah. They found some in a baby rattle somewhere.
Baby rattle.
I don't know where that was. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about was like, so there's like the big pharma lobbyists, like there's 8.
I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this. Like the president is quite literally doing what he's supposed to. It's right, Theo. Like he's literally doing like exactly what the DNC used to own. They used to think that they used to be all about just, okay, look, we got the ground game, we got the cool kids, we have the artists, we have everything. And now this man is doing exactly what they're doing while the Democrat side is hiding. And just, I mean, how down to earth is this damn interview? It's
1,500 big pharma lobbyists in Washington, D.C.
Right.
There's only 535 total representatives or senators total.
Good point.
So just the fact that there's this whole other almost drug government that's there kind of pushing pushing agendas and influencing things. Like, how do we stop that, man? It just seems like it's obviously killing people. Like people are dying, it's like, what do we have to do that our own government won't help us?
Well, yeah.
By the way, his mullet game is fantastic. I mean, look at the hairdos on these two. Can we just point that out? Let's not paint over this. Fantastic hair.
Have to stop listening to lobbyists. I was not a big person for lobbyists. And if they have even a little access to like a president or a senator or a congressman or woman,
they're snakes.
They get a lot of money.
Yeah.
And in some cases, they just take the money. They don't do anything. But you have a lot of lobbyists in Washington pushing, and certainly a lot for all of the things that we're talking about, including
winning.
Alcohol.
The lobbyists are winning, it feels like.
Yeah, they're winning. They're making a lot of money. Absolutely.
Can you stop that? Can a president stop that? Like, how do we stop that?
Well, one way you could stop it is to say, if you're going to go into government, you can never be a lobbyist.
Amen.
In many cases, they have rules and regulations where you can't do it for 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever.
You mean be a lobbyist after you were an elected official?
I mean, you could.
Is that what you're saying?
You could say that if you're an elected official or if you work in government, you can never be a lobbyist. You have people that work in government and they give out contracts to the military, and then they leave and they work for the people that they're giving out contracts to.
That's exactly what happened with the Sackler family, with the drug companies. They hired people that were on the FDA to.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. The FDA official with approval of OxyContin got a $400,000 gig at Purdue Pharma.
Work for them so they could loophole the laws.
Yeah.
But can we outlaw lobbyists, or we can't do that?
Well, there's a whole constitutional thing there. I mean, can you make somebody never, ever go into the business if you work for government, and especially if you're giving out contracts? In other words, you're a powerful person within some industry, the Navy, the Army, anything. It could be military procurement, etc. There's a whole thing there's a whole question as to you give out a contract and then all of a sudden you're working for the person you gave out the contract to, or the company that you gave out the contract to.
Right. It's like you're playing both sides in the net.
Well, it's obviously a problem, and it's a big problem, and we were doing things about it, but then we had to get down to other business. We had to solve we had a lot of problems with this country.
Yeah, you got a lot of problems. That's right. And by the way, you can't, here's why you can't stop lobbying. Y'all just understand this. It is a constitutional right to be able to petition your government. That is a forgotten constitutional right, by the way. And you can't say, Mike, you cannot petition your government. You cannot go speak with your congressman or woman or senator. You can't. You cannot say that. So if I can go with whatever grievance I have or whatever wares I want to sell, you can't say I cannot. So that's the hard part about this. Are lobbyists evil? Hell yes. We can strike down at this moment 30% of our nation's healthcare spending. 30, like that. It's two things called the flu kazoo, and we're damn near right on the cusp of curing diabetes. Done. Flu kazoo is a little thing you blow into like a breathalyzer, and it basically finds out what's wrong with you. It's what Theranos. It's what Theranos thought they could do with one drop of blood, but it basically tells you, here's what's ailing you. We're going to send your pharmaceuticals to you, and it's going to go right to your door, and it's all good. We do those two things. 1/3 of our nation's healthcare spending is gone. Done. Cures a lot of ails, right? BlackRock, their lobbyists, BlackRock, Thanos, thanks, Brendan. That BlackRock went into Congressman Schweikert's office and said, we're going to primary you if you bring this to the floor. And the co-sponsor and the other co-sponsors and the co-sponsors, the pressure just got to know. Why would BlackRock be against that? BlackRock owns, not all, but it's easy to say all, but a lot of, the majority of, walk-in clinic buildings. Buildings for walk-in clinics. They own the buildings. So if you have a flu kazoo and you don't have to go to whatever walk-in, minute clinic kind of thing you need to, they lose a big part of their business. So lobbyists, because of real estate and the companies that they own, are stopping us from eliminating 30% of our healthcare spend a year. Lobbyists. Yeah. But again, and it said, and James said, get big pharma out of the media business as well. It's tough. I mean, we had this entire video series this entire video is probably 10, 15 minutes long that said Anderson Cooper 360 brought to you by Pfizer. Good Morning America brought to you by Pfizer. Good this Sunday, whatever, brought to you by Pfizer, all of them. And then what do they say? Get your vaccines. I agree with you, James. But how do you do that? Monday, the dollar, you got to keep the lights on. It's ugly. I will give a shout out. I will give some credit where credit's due, because I always will. I look, I'm not trying to bash people that I feel slighted me in my past. If they do right, they do right. If you're a terrible artist, but you have a good song, or you're doing good with charity, I'm going to give you credit for that. There's a lot of artists like that. There is a big, I believe is a $500 million, $50 million, something absurd advertising by Pfizer for iHeart. And iHeart's the biggest media company there is. I mean, they're kind of clicks and listens and all this stuff rival Google. So iHeart's huge. So they had this huge buy, Pfizer did. And I was like, well, crap. Because there's no way Rob and I are going to talk positively about the vax. We're not going to. The boss's boss came in and said, here's the story. Here's exactly what they bought. Here's what they're expecting. Don't change a thing. Not in what Pfizer wanted. They said, don't change your attitude, and you can speak out against Pfizer. You speak out against the vax. You do whatever you want. You guys have your brand. You do it. And I really appreciated that. And I thought at that moment, I was like, I'm doing the right thing. I'm working for the right type of company. And then they did what they did. But still, you say that, okay? Drug companies, cigarette company, difference. Yeah, they're all pitching something. And I mean, how far do you want to go down that rabbit hole though? Like I definitely, I know what I'm looking at when I see a pharmaceutical ad. People dancing around and they're like, I lost weight with Ozempic and this, all that kind of nonsense. I know what I'm looking at. I get it. That's a drug commercial. But how many cereal commercials do you see for your kids? What's worse? Not kidding. Doritos, any of that stuff. And don't get me wrong, I do not eat well. But you look down, you look at the ingredients and all these stuff, like we're giving our kids and stuff. It's just awful. Childhood obesity and diabetes is a pandemic in our nation. It is absolutely out of control. It's because of the crap that we advertise on TV. So what's worse? The drug companies, cigarette companies, or the junk food companies? Right? Bigger portions, more fillers, more preservatives, more crap that's bad for you. And so it's tough to see, okay, well, just ditch advertising. I mean, look, look, I advertise Slavo Salt, Cane and Coolers, Green Mountain Grills. And Slavo Salt, what's up, Errol? Slavo Salt is 3 ingredients. It is kosher salt, black pepper, and in garlic in 3 different phases of roasting. And he roasts his own garlic. He doesn't get the little pre stuff. There's no preservatives. It's a money back guarantee. If you use the code GOSHOW, you get some dough off your order there. But I got to tell you, that's healthy to ingest. Those are healthy things. Those are healthy ingredients. And okay, and I mean, we can just stay on this, guys. We can go down this hole forever because you think about, cut salt, don't eat eggs. What? We were told by our government, cut salt. Your body's made of salt water. Literally made of salt water. Cut salt. What else was it? It was don't eat eggs. Eggs are a multivitamin. Eggs are fantastic for you. But we were told, remember, those lobbyists got in there and said, Then the dairy lobby came back and said, oh, we can eat 3 or 4 a week. 3 or 4 a week, ate about 6 a day. Wait. Okay, Brendan, I got you. Here you go, bud. There you have it. Run to the beach and play music with my friends. Oh my gosh. There was a guy. Okay, we'll do it in a decompression session. There was a guy, a comedian, that I don't know if you saw it, that he would put himself into, I think, Chevy commercials. Hilarious. Absolutely, just mocking the whole thing, just mocking the entire advertising apparatus. And I'll see if I can get that in a decompression session as well. Yeah, see, I mean, Arrow's got it down, man. Avoid processed foods, wheat, nuts, and in seed oils as much as I can. Guys, help me out. I'm celebrating intern Bean's birthday today, and she wants Cane's chicken, Raising Cane's. It is the most mid chicken I have ever had. Cane's sucks. I'm sorry, y'all. Why are people losing their minds over this? It literally is the most mid chicken I've ever had. Like, there's zero taste. There's no seasoning. It's just chicken. It's just fried chicken with no 11 herbs and spices, if you know what I'm saying. And by the way, the Cane sauce is a little bit of mustard. It's mayo, it's ketchup, and Worcestershire sauce. That's it. Or Worcestershire sauce. That's it. And black pepper. I've made it a bunch of times. Yeah. Brendan brings up the food pyramid. The food pyramid was, who brought up the food pyramid? Anyone? Come on. Who's got the trivia for me today? Who made up the food pyramid? Kellogg's. Ladies and gentlemen, Kellogg's in the cereal lobby. That's why cereal was part of the food pyramid and a part of a balanced diet. Cereal. Yeah, no joke at all. Okay, wait a second. Gina, you're talking sexy to me. What is this? Make your own with pork panko. Pork panko? What is that? I got to find that. Oh, I love cooking. Gina, I'm a big cook. I absolutely love cooking. Chicken is awesome, but dude, Raising Cane's just isn't good. Jesus, I eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. God bless you, woman. That's it right there. Why would you do anything else? I made a badass omelet the other night. This was fantastic. Okay, crushed pork rinds. Okay, so crushed pork rinds, kind of like a panko. That's fantastic. Okay, yeah, I'm in. I'm going. And do you make your own or yeah? Because I love me some pork rinds. I ain't gonna play with that, man. Give me some. Maybe that's some Funyuns. But I mean, there's those rules, right? If it's in a bag or whatever, it's processed. Stay away from it. Eat the shop in the outside. Yes. Okay, Gus's Fried Chicken to 16th Street in Central Phoenix. Look, I love fried chicken, y'all. I do, and I really haven't run into bad fried chicken before I went to Cane's, and now I'm spending $150 on chicken that is just zero taste, zero flavor, none. Oh, why don't you want like Chick-fil-A or something like that? This is God's chicken, Lord's chicken. I love some KFC, man. But KFC, you better get ready for it, man. KFC, last time I went to KFC, it was $80. I had like a family bucket and something like that. It was $80. But how about this though? Here's always a good move. If you don't feel like making mashed potatoes, just run and get mashed potatoes from KFC. Y'all good. Or they're whipped potatoes. Kind of, they're good. Let's get back to the show, shall we? Yes. Here's one thing that has happened that I don't think the Democrats really wanted to do. The Dems have picked a fight with the wrong dude. And they did it by excluding him. You do not exclude a Kennedy. You just don't. If you're a Democrat or the Democrat apparatus, I'm telling you, you kiss the Kennedy's boots. Kennedy's running mate was interviewed, and she showed basically what they're about to do because they're not happy. And like she said, she spent tens of millions of her own money to not be a spoiler. Check this out.
In tens of millions of dollars to be a spoiler candidate. I put in tens of $1,000,000 to win, to fix this country, to do the right thing. I will say that
ironically, her and RFK Jr. They sound alike. Was that mean? I shouldn't have said that. Was it? Okay. All right. I'll go back to my little spot over here. You continue. Yes.
Clear Choice, this PAC, this DNC aligned PAC that was created specifically to take us out, has spent millions of dollars to take us out. They have unfortunately turned us into a spoiler.
This guy's a fantastic interviewer.
And we don't want to be a spoiler. We wanted to win. We wanted a fair shot.
Here's where it goes.
The DNC made that impossible.
Look at this beaut. Anyway, the DNC made that. Unfortunately, it stopped right there. But yes, that made that impossible
for us.
Yeah.
They have banned us, shadow banned us, kept us off stages, manipulated polls, used lawfare against us, sued us in every possible state. They've even planted insiders into our campaign to disrupt it.
Wait, is this jabroni wearing shorts? What is this guy? He's got a solid interview and he's wearing shorts. Oh, this guy. Oh, yeah. Literally wearing shorts. Look at this guy. What in the hell?
Insiders into our campaign to disrupt it and to create actual legal issues for us. I mean, the extent by which the sabotage they've unleashed upon us. It's mind-blowing. I mean, we're still learning new ways that they have sabotaged us. I really wanted a fair shot at this election, and I believed in the America that a little girl pledged an allegiance to. And that is not.
She does, Rhonda. She kind of sounds like Katie Hobbs, a little bit like Katie Hobbs. But she is wildly more successful and wildly more intelligent. And keep in mind, when we talk about Katie Hobbs, the bar is set pretty damn low.
That is not where we are today. And it's not because of the Republican Party taking us out. It is exclusively because of the Democratic Party taking us out. And I am so disappointed I ever helped them. I am so disappointed that I helped Chuck Schumer in that Georgia runoff. Secure a majority. It's probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life. And
Lynn, you're not talking about that guy. The comment just came right when they shifted back over to that butte. Look, it looks like a cab running down the street with the doors open.
It's really devastating. So to answer your question,
thank goodness
we are not spoilers. That was never our motivation. We
is
really
now
wanted a fair shot. I think had we had a fair shot, we would have won
in a landslide.
I still would love to see in the last 80 days of this election some miracle play out where we get a chance to debate.
Nope.
I don't think they're going to let us. You know, given this, I think we are taking a very serious look at making sure that the people that have corrupted our fair and free democracy do not end up in office in November.
Damn.
It's hard. I mean, it's really hard, Tom, to say these words because it's also acknowledging how bad things are.
Y'all went and jacked with the wrong group. Y'all went and jacked. And by the way, I think it was, Truman, JFK's grandson, of course, because he pledged his fealty. He kissed the rings and spoke out against his uncle or whatever RFK Jr. is to that guy. So JFK's grandson got to be there. But RFK Jr. Obviously did not. Y'all went and pissed off the wrong group. She now is into tens of millions of dollars. I love that she exposed Chuck Schumer in that. She's like, I helped him win the majority in that. I put millions into the Georgia runoff election that got us Warnock or whatever that little socialist weasel is that's over there as well. Like, she did it. She stroked the checks. And now she regrets it. And now she saw these bozos subvert democracy, all the while claiming they're going to save it. And now here she goes. She ain't done, y'all. Here she goes.
Yeah, it's hard to hear the words. Do you guys fantastic. See any path to victory at this point?
Well, no, nerd.
I mean, technically, if we can stay on the ballots, we've qualified for all the ballots now.
Yep, sure have.
Which is like an enormous feat. Like you don't understand. The system was designed after Ross Perot to keep this from ever happening again, and we accomplished it. So technically,
she dropping truth bombs on you. Remember? Now say here. Ross Perot in his kitchen with a little whiteboard. Now say here. Got a sign. And that the system changed after that to make sure that we the people couldn't launch off of our own shoulders someone that can come change their power structure. Yeah. Actually partnered with the Trump administration. I think they are. So RFK Jr. is kind of where we're going to go with that in a second here, Brendan. But yeah, let's let her wrap up here.
We could win. We could absolutely win still. The problem is if you censor a candidate as we've been censored, people don't get a chance to even hear us.
True.
So
well, we don't really. You're not easy to listen to.
There's two options that we're looking at. And
here we go.
One is staying in, forming that new party, but we run the risk of a Kamala Harris and Waltz presidency because we draw votes from Trump, or we draw somehow more votes from Trump, or we walk away right now and join forces with Donald Trump. And,
yes!
And, we walk away from that and we explain to our base why we're making this decision.
Because a Kamala Harris Walz presidency is absolutely absurd. Not even within the realm of possibility that we can survive that as a we the people. Another 4 years of this crap, there's no way in the world we can pull it off. So when you have hyper-intelligent, successful people like her, like RFK Jr., and by the way, look at RFK Jr.'s record. Look at his record. This dude's a rainmaker. This guy literally walks the walk of his ideology. You might agree with it, you might not. But he is a badass. He is a powerful attorney. That guy crushes. And she, wildly successful. Join forces. You heard her say this. Join forces with Donald Trump so that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz do not win. Y'all ticked off the wrong people. And Jim's a good point. That's right. They did it in 2016 and they did it in 2020. They have completely rigged the system. Completely. And I'm not talking about the election stolen. I'm talking about their primary system. The Democrats' primary system has been absolutely rigged by the Democrat Party. JFK Jr. Maybe are you talking about RFK Jr., James? I would love. Actually, I would absolutely love to have RFK Jr. as an attorney general. That'd be rad. Because I mean, you got to be able to. You have to have somebody strong enough to stand up to Donald Trump. And if Donald Trump starts getting weird, like he did a couple of times with his attorney general, you need somebody to tell him to shut up. You tell him we're not doing that. And you know Donald. I mean, come on, you know Donald. So RFK Jr. gets in there, gets into Oval Office and starts talking to him. He's like, I can't even listen to your voice. I can't even deal with it. Send me an email. And no, sir, we're not doing that. Okay, so it's fantastic. But he is not. So we're very clear here. RFK Jr. is not anti-vax. He's not. He's labeled that. He is as much anti-vax as Donald Trump never said any, never disavowed white supremacy in white nationalism. He did, obviously, and RFK Jr. is a. Oh, I see what you're saying now, but sorry about that, James. But the idea of Donald Trump, RFK Jr. totally wrecking the Harris-Walz campaign. I would think I just get the popcorn. Just telling you, it makes total sense. And you know what gets stopped? What gets stopped when this happens is this crap from Jen Kondasaki. Listen to this garbage.
I understand, the trip to meet the bodies and the families, and I know you talked to the president afterwards. Can you help me just?
This is when Biden was. She's getting asked about, basically why did Biden check his watch when he had bodies that are on the blood is on his hands because he's such a doofus with that the Afghanistan withdrawal. Why is he checking his watch when, dude, you just don't do that? Why is that? Listen.
Understand those moments and really how it affected him and did it change him?
Sure. I wasn't with him when he made that trip. I did speak to him afterwards because afterwards some of the there was a story that was inaccurate and erroneous, which later
you are going to love this, guys. This is absolutely baffling. Listen.
Was fact checked.
It was fact checked. That's one of the things that we just, me as president, me as running the world, Mike Russell will immediately, my first action is to eliminate fact checkers. I'm so sick of this. Oh, it's fact checked. What? Okay, by who? What did they find out? What do you mean fact check? Is it somewhere I hate that. Independently fact check. You know what I do love? If you've been on X in a minute, X in their community comments or their community standards or whatever the hell they call this, there are people saying, hey, can you check this? And they check it. And every time I have seen somebody add community notes, it's pretty damn accurate. Like it's fabulous. I mean, Elon fixed it. Absolutely crazy. Mm-hmm. Let's see. She needs to preach this on a larger platform. Megyn Kelly at Fox. I do agree with that, Steve. That RFK Jr. needs to preach that we're coming after the Harris-Walz campaign. So here, let's get back to Jen Kondasaki.
That suggested he was looking at his watch for an extended period of time.
Quite literally was looking at his watch for an extended period of time. Maybe not an extended period of time, but several times. I have so many names.
Which after the fact check, it became clear he had just looked at his watch after everybody had left.
Not accurate at all. Not accurate at all. Everyone still was at attention as bodies were going in front of him. This was not after, you knucklehead.
And
we get rid of this. Please.
I think that was probably, at least in the time I worked for him, the most solemn and the hardest period of his presidency.
Because he quite literally killed 13 people.
Because, having lost someone himself, obviously under very different circumstances, he does feel a connection, a deep connection to people who have lost loved ones, lost their children.
Again, he lost his son to brain cancer. I lost both my dad and my stepdad. My stepdad raised me, my biological father. I lost both of them. I do not feel a connection with somebody who lost a family member at war because my dad died. Like this disingenuous BS is exactly what we get to eliminate. We've got to stop this train. It is absolutely absurd. Oh, it's been fact-checked. Yeah, exactly, Gene. Here we go again with the Bo stuff. But now, you guys want to hear some serious, like some insulting nonsense? Listen to this. She's talking about Gold Star families, by the way. Oh, shoot. I hit the wrong thing.
That is typically what he conveys to people when he's talking to them about when they've lost someone. That was not well received by some of the people who had lost their child.
Why wouldn't it be well received? Listen.
That's fair. You can feel however you're going to feel, which is what his feeling was as well at the time. But what was heartbreaking is that they felt he was being self-involved.
He was, because he's self-involved racist jerk. That's why.
Sharing his own story. That was what some of these parents
shared.
Now, what is also true is that some of them were ardent Trump supporters. They'd also lost their loved ones. So you can't.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, they can't feel that this guy is a complete bozo coming in talking about I lost my son, so I feel what you feel, knowing that it was his call, that he's the commander in chief, and we lost your kid to that commander in chief. Oh, ardent Trump supporters. They're Trump supporters. That's one of the most insulting things I have heard in a hot damn minute. Yeah. But I know he circles back. Well done, Ron. Yes, this is going to circle back to his son's death. Yeah, and we can go on that whole pedo thing. Oh my gosh, like we did yesterday. It was Jen Kanasaki is exactly what is wrong with everything. By the way, illegally, as the press secretary was negotiating with MSNBC for her $5 million deal. Yeah. Jen, by the way, she runs a marketing and consulting firm in DC. She is loaded. She is a Democrat strategist. That is her basically her entire bag. It's a lot like Judge Merchant is his daughter. His daughter is making millions off of Kamala and Adam Schiff and a few other high-name Dems, while daddy is on the bench trying to take out the opposition. We are in a loony time. We are in an absolute loony time. But it is almost time for our decompression session. This is something we'd like to end the show with. Our decompression session comes to you from a very, very wise man. Now, this is somebody I just was not introduced to, but I just saw. Excuse me, guys. My allergies just drive me nuts. He wants to. This is the most poignant, on target takedown of woke I have ever seen, because it comes from a very Zen-like man that I just want to turn into a keychain and carry him around in my pocket. This guy's fantastic. So when you have something like this, we'll get him queued up here. Look at this guy. Come on. See, he is the Singapore Prime Minister. And this guy is going to talk to us about woke. Woke is, if you're anti-woke, the woke want to take you out. Because the woke have to be offended by everyone. The woke. Everybody, oh, I got woke. What's the opposite of that? I think it's called based now. Yeah, this guy's as based as can be. Check him out and listen to what this guy says. We'll discuss before our decompression session. Here we go.
A movement called wokeness, where you are
By the way, he speaks better English than most anyone I know. Yeah, fantastic.
hypersensitive about other people's issues, and you become hypersensitive when other people somehow or others say things or mention things or refer to you without the respect which you or your super subgroup feel you are entitled to.
You or your super subgroup feel you're entitled to. I love this man.
Leads to very extreme attitudes and social norms, particularly in some academic institutions, universities. You talk about safe spaces, you talk about appropriate pronouns, you talk about I'm about to say something which may be offensive to you. If you don't want to hear it, perhaps you'd like to leave now. And life becomes very burdensome.
Yes.
And I don't think we want to go in that direction. It does not make us a more resilient, cohesive society with a strong sense of solidarity. We must be more robust.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is absolute brilliance. That is absolute. We are weakening ourselves. All in the name, we don't want to offend anyone. If any of you ever, God bless you, and I pray this doesn't happen to you, run into my kids in the field if they're hunting or fishing, my kids are the biggest trash talkers there are. I've created monsters. They take me down. They do. They take dad down all the time. And I'm like, oh, that was, that might have been over the line, guys. Yeah. Yeah. But I did that. I taught my kids how to talk trash, and I talked trash to my kids their entire upbringing because I needed them to be tough. Like he said, more robust, not worried about what everyone else thinks. And I got to tell you, Captain Nuge, my son, geez, my goodness, this kid, he really doesn't care about what other people think about him. He's like, just straight, whatever. Nothing's going to bother him. None's going to bother him. If you don't mind, guys, I'm going to play this one more time because I just think that I really think that everything this guy said is on point, and I just think it's something to carry us through our day. This is Lee Hsien Loong, Singapore Prime Minister. I'm pretty sure I said that right. But again, he speaks better English than I do. So here we go.
A movement called wokeness, where you are super sensitive about other people's issues, and you become hypersensitive when other people somehow or others say things or mention things or refer to you without the respect which you or your super subgroup feel you are entitled to. It leads to very extreme attitudes and social norms, particularly in some academic institutions, universities. You talk about safe spaces, you talk about appropriate pronouns, you talk about I'm about to say something which may be offensive to you. If you don't want to hear it, perhaps you'd like to leave now.
He is mocking the entire woke culture when he said that. That is power mocking right there. I'm about to say something that might offend you. If you don't want to hear it, you can leave.
And life becomes very burdensome.
Yes.
And I don't think we want to go in that direction. It does not make us a more resilient, cohesive society with a strong sense of solidarity. We must be more robust.
I can't think of a better way to wrap a show. I mean, look, he's dead right. He's right in every way. I like Brendan's idea here. We're going to cut down fact checker to just facker. I hope that's what he said. Let me see here. Yep, that's what he said right there. Yeah, damn fackers. But the fact checkers, the funny thing is the fact checkers, and I've seen so many of this stuff. The fact checkers are just they mostly they're running on feelings. Like this is offensive to some people, and if we are going to have fact checkers, why not license fact checkers? Like make it a career, make it a job. Okay, you're a fact checker. Okay, you are a licensed fact checker. You're audited just like any other professional service. Basically, a licensing that you have to get. You're audited. And you are licensed for a certain amount of time, and you can be a fact checker. I hate this. I hate the word. This has been backed by independent fact checkers. USA Today was the worst. USA Today, because apparently they're not selling enough newspapers in airports. The USA Today, they were big into the whole fact checker scene. It's absolutely awful. And it's abysmal. It really, really is. Hey, y'all. I appreciate you. I love you guys. Thank you for playing along. And here's the deal. I got to go get ready to celebrate Intern Bean's birthday. So I'm going to go do that. I'm actually cleaning things and putting things away. And oh, come on. I bought an ice cream cake. I ain't playing that. And I got to go eat mid chicken and Cane's. But anyway, got to go do that. And I appreciate you guys. You have a wonderful day. We'll do this again tomorrow in other news right here.